So today we're talking about how do you exit a real estate investment? Because at the end of the day, look, you've done all the right things, you've saved up your money, you've invested in something, that investment has started to grow and started to grow, make you money. But now you want to say, hey, how do I get out of it? How do I actually have access to the capital? One of the big problems of real estate investing is it's locked away. The money you've earned is locked away for the most part if you're not buying cash flow producing properties. So the cash flow is great, but if you really want access to that big, appreciation that's in real estate, why the number one reason why people invest in real estate is because the money grows exponentially. So you're controlling a small asset, or sorry, a large asset with a small investment, and that investment is growing. So you want to know how to unlock it. So we're talking about 5 exit strategies that you can take advantage of today in today's market in pretty much any city. And it's how you access the capital. Look, the number one is called sell your real estate. Just sell it. Sell it. The problem with selling your real estate asset is you're going to be having to pay capital gains taxes. Sometimes it's, provincial taxes or state taxes on top of that. And at the end of the day, then you lose the asset. You no longer own the asset. So it's 100% gone. So it's not the best strategy. Sure, you have access to all the capital, but then what? What do you do with it? Are you going to go buy a car? Are you going to go buy, a vacation? Then what? Then you have no money. So you really don't want to do that. But that is the number one strategy that most real estate investors take. They buy something, they either fix it up and sell it on a short period of time, like I do, or they have a long-term hold and they sell it eventually. But at the end of the day, you're then taxed again. So you have to say, look, is selling really the best strategy? Probably not, but it is a strategy of how you unlock the capital. The next one is what we call a refinance. Now, refinancing is the best one you use in real estate investing. And why is that? Well, it allows you to maintain the property. You still get to keep the property. You get to pull money or equity out of the property, and you do it with tax-free because you're not actually acquiring the capital. You're actually deploying debt. You're actually increasing the debt of the real estate investment. So a refinance, or a place where you can pull money out of a property, is a non-taxable event. So it's an amazing way to keep the property. You get access to money that's in the property. The one downside is that your cost of ownership goes up because your debt load has gone up. So that brings us to another strategy called partitioning. So partitioning, if you've never heard of partitioning before, is where you take a share or a small percentage of what you own and sell that off. So let's say you own a 10-unit apartment building. And of those 10 units, you want to sell 10% share, or effectively 1 unit. Well, you can't actually parcel out 1 unit unless you convert it into a condominium. So you're not going to do that. So what you can do, though, is you can actually sell shares of what you own. So you can sell 10% of it, or 20%, or 30, or 40, or 50, or whatever you want. So that allows you to keep the property. You're selling a smaller portion. You're still getting access to capital. The problem is it's also a taxable event. So you're paying higher taxes on it. Which leads me to the next amazing opportunity is called a real estate investment trust. So if you don't know what that is, you're effectively selling a share in a corporation. So you're collectively pooling your assets or your portfolio, and you're going to produce shares, and those shares can be sold to individual investors. So you actually control 100% of the assets still. You still own it. You're just collecting money from people, and you're giving them a return on their investment based on the performance of the portfolio, called the real estate investment trust. So your tax implications are lower. You still own 100% of the property, but you're not getting access to capital from people that you otherwise couldn't have gotten. And this brings us to the final one, called seller financing. So seller financing is a really unique way. You basically effectively become the bank. So you are saying, I'm going to exchange the property for you. So you're, quote unquote, selling the property, but without transferring the ownership, you're going to provide a mortgage, or you're going to provide financing for somebody who wants to buy the property. So you actually won't relinquish the ownership of the property until that loan is paid off. For example, let's say you own a property that's worth $250,000, and someone comes to you and say, I want to buy the property for $250,000. You say, well, here's the property. In exchange for it, I want a $20,000 down payment, and I'm going to give you a financing mortgage or a note for $230,000. And over the next 20 to 30 years, you're going to pay that back. So until they pay that money back, you actually still own the property. And that's the way you can exit real estate with 5 different strategies. So hopefully you're deploying one of those 5. If you have any more ideas of how you can exit real estate, I'd love to hear more in the comments below. Just comment, like, and subscribe to this channel.